haat dit om bang te wees. Ek lees nie thrillers nie en ek kyk nie horror movies nie. En as 'n enkel lopende middeljarige vrou moes ek noodgedwonge voorsorgmaatreëls tref om myself uit bangmaak situasies te hou, om myself te beskerm teen die aanval van buite.
After not performing for years, Elzabé Zietsman is back with a new play that shines light to gender-based violence. The renowned performer has taken a unique approach to raising awareness and combating GBV through her powerful cabaret performances. Female is Fertile is a thought-provoking show that aims to encourage individuals to break their silence, speak out against GBV, and create lasting change in society.
In 2019, there were quite a few very, very, very bad gender-based violence cases in South Africa. And I was basically ready to, if you can call it that, make a comeback to my first love, because I had to put it on the back burner for a couple of years. And having to decide what I'm going to do, it was a no-brainer. That if it was going to be a cabaret, it has to be about gender-based violence. But now to dish that up to an audience without them going, no, I don't want to hear anything about that. So we had to be careful, because we want people to come and see it. We don't want to chase them away or make them scared of the show. Firstly, Tony, my musical director and pianist, chose the most beautiful music for it. He forced me to sing songs that I've always been very scared of. You know, a jazz standard, yeah. But I think I got it. I think I got it. So what people can expect is that we talk about gender-based violence in a palatable way, so that you can listen and so that it can go in. I don't just want to, in old Afrikaans, doneren with the facts. So I'm telling stories, and that is really what they can expect. It's stories that are based on truth with beautiful songs. Cabaret's job in the history of world was to inform, it's socio-political commentary, to comment on our environment and what is happening around us. So with a topic like GBV, I think cabaret is just the logical thing to use. But obviously, you can't just give facts, and so even though it's socio-political commentary, it still has to be entertaining. And I think we succeeded in doing that with a very difficult message. It really is a difficult message. We all know about it. We all know it's there. We all know that South Africa is #1 in the world. We're not only world champions in rugby, we're actually world champions in femicide, you know, and that's not something to be proud of. And we need to speak about it. That is the most important thing. And through cabaret was, for me, the easiest way to do it. And also, cabaret is my first love, and I firstly see myself as a cabaret artist before anything else. I don't think we address stereotypes as such in the story, even though I do say with one of the characters that everything about her is a cliche. But the point wasn't to address stereotypes or the fight between male and female or the this or the that. The intention is to make people listen about the facts of gender-based violence. Because, you know, in the research that we did, for me, it was one of the most shocking things of the research, was that experts around the world agree that we cannot stop femicide. We can't stop it. We can only reduce it. And the only way to reduce it is to first reduce gender-based violence. And the only way to reduce gender-based violence is by speaking. And that's what we're trying to do. We are speaking and trying to make it accessible for an audience to listen without preaching, without anything. But to get that message across was the most important thing for me, that we need to speak. We have to speak if we want to do something about this problem. It's my first time in 30 years that I'm performing at the Market Theatre again, so it truly is exciting for me. I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I am to be back in the Market Theatre. Theatre is just, there is a magic. There's a total magic, and firstly, the last 3 years, we couldn't really perform in theatres, or I couldn't. I did a lot of the festivals, but festivals is different from theatre. But walking into the theatre now and just being here, it's like coming home again.
Do you remember the last play you
The last play I did was in 1989, and it was a play called Man to Man, a one-woman show that was written by a German playwright by the name of Manfred Karger. That was the last play I did here, but I think after that I did perform in a couple of one-night cabarets or shows, so that wasn't the last time that I performed here, but that was the last play that I did here. Right now, I think the job that I have to do isn't so much empowerment or anything like that. My job that I have to do now is to ask and to make sure that whoever comes to see this show will speak. That is my main job at the moment.
You're encouraging speaking at the moment.
I want people to talk about gender-based violence, and that is what I'm trying to do with the show.
The show, for me, is important that everybody must see it because of that fact. The fact that we must start thinking what we say and how we say it. And we must start thinking what women mean in our lives. And I don't talk about your partner only. I speak of mothers, daughters, nieces, sisters. I speak of everyone. Because women, specifically in our country, is not seen the way they should be seen. What was difficult for Elzabé and me is that as people, we say it as it is. Especially Elzabé, and she's been known to tell people it the way it is. And it was important to us that we can still do that because people need to hear it. It's been sugar-coated many a times. And I think because of that, people don't take it as serious as they must or as they should. We do say it, but we don't say it at people. We tell the stories. And through that, we hope that they can hear what they should be hearing, instead of just coming to a nice show and seeing a story and thinking that's far removed from me. We try, in the show, I think what is the thing that impacts the most on everyone and what hits the hardest is the fact that you relate to it. As a woman, as a man, if you are at all awake in this world, you realize how gender-based violence and femicide impacts all of our lives. Each one of us has a story. If it is our own or if it is someone we know really closely, there's a story to be told. I think 2/3 of the show is written by Bruce Little. It's his concept, it was his research, but the rest Elzabé brought, and the rest we researched and we put in, and some of it we took out because it was too harsh, and some of it we put back because it needed to be harsh. But the most important part was that it was the voice of the female. Look at it from our perspective. Because what happens is people talk about it, but they see it from the male side. They still see it the way they've been conditioned as people in all cultures. If you look at South African culture specifically, in all of it, in all 12 of them, the male is always put at the forefront. And if anybody speaks about anything, it comes from a male. So for us, it was important to to give the female the voice and to say it from our perspective so that people can actually hear what we feel and see and think.
She teaches us that it is through the collective efforts of artists, activists, survivors and communities that we can ultimately eradicate gender-based violence and ensure a future free from fear and oppression for all. Through her captivating storytelling and emotional performances, she creates a platform for survivors to speak out, fosters empathy and understanding, and mobilizes communities. Snazo Noto, SABC News, Johannesburg.